Howdy, Dead the Kid here, back for part 2 of the Miku 100 review. This time, I'll review 51 through 100. Stick around till the end, when I rank the top 10 Mikus of the full 100. Just to catch you up, if you haven't seen part 1, please do, as this series does show a development in terms of artistic skill, and I will be referring back to previous drawings in chronological order. Miku 100 is an art trend started on Twitter by Top Dylan. Prompt was to make 100 drawings featuring Natsune Miku from Boogaloo. Each piece I made was intended for Twitter, so some of these will be in batches of up to 4 with text accompanying them. I will critique the anatomy, composition, and little details to each drawing, then give each piece a leak rating from 1 to 5. On to the review. 51. It is a pun on Area 51. By the way, I will be doing a lot of number puns in this series, so I hope you enjoy puns. This one is a reference to vintage alien design. Her skirt is supposed to be similar to a UFO. There's nothing going on here. The anatomy is inconsistent. Her arms are too big, her legs are too long. There's a lot of incongruencies with the body. I like the actual composition of the image. There's a lot of good references. The eyeglasses or sunglasses are supposed to reference like red alien beady eyes, and I love this one. I will give it 3 out of 5. 52. Miku eats a lemon. This is a reference to Miku eating a lemon. And I love this one because it's a very simple image. The drawings are very simple but lovable. Last one, the expression is a reference to Aqua, her facial expression. This one, I love it. Coloring, not bad. It's just supposed to be fun. I will give this one a 4 out of 5. Number 53. This is a reference to the Jacko pose. If you were on Twitter, you would know about the Jacko pose. This is a very big meme in terms of drawings. This one, I remember drawing this one, it took a long time. I had to reference this image. It's a nice little joke here. She's in the full Jacko outfit. Her hair looks great. Lighting is beautiful. The coloring is great. 5 out of 5 overall. 54. Space Channel 5 Miku. This design, the aesthetic of this image is great. I love it. The use of pink with the blues, very nice. I love how I changed the hair color of the blue so that it could contrast a lot better with the background. The use of yellow also really pops in this image. I just love it overall. The design is from the Space Channel 5 Miku that you get in the Space Channel 5 video game. This is also a reference to the Sega series. 5 out of 5. Number 55. I think this is the start of something really good. I start to do a lot of over-the-top ideas and start to really go all over the place with like involving more characters than just simply Miku. And I also start to involve these like really big ideas and like overarching character designs. Like in this case, we're doing like Bancho characters or like street thugs. We have Miku in a black mask. I changed their colors to be more iconic. We have Miku with blue hair, which in the previous image I changed her hair color from a more tealish or like greenish color to this very strong blue. We have the red hair that combines with their scarves. We also have the yellow hair with blonde hair in this case. I didn't change that much, but it goes with her scarf, and I changed her skin tone to be a lot more tan and also go into that kind of Gyaru design. And this really comes across as a really strong, colorful image, and like their skin color doesn't pop, but also the background is a reference to Triple Baka itself where they start to do the little scribble thing in that one scene. This overall, it's just beautiful. And the cell phone, that's a cell phone from the music video. Overall, this is a great picture. 5 out of 5. Just wow. Number 56. This is the start of the meme series, but this is not an actual batch. We have Miku, the other 2 members of the Triple Baka crew, and in the foreground, we also have Yohane Haku. This one is a great image. It's a great meme. I drew everything here. It's all just a reference to that one meme, you know, from Demon Slayer. I love that meme. This one is just a soft-hearted way of saying like how this is all gonna end. It did end like that, but yes. I also like how the coloring on, I managed to get the dirt effect on their clothes. It came out really well. Minor error, the earring I think is a miscolor. 5 out of 5. Number 57 through number 59, the theming is memes. Number 57, we start off with a very strong, continuing the Triple Baka memes. We have Miku and the other 2 members of Triple Baka. We have them in the easy breezy poses that reference. Here we have Miku in the bottom, her background. We have celery. In the middle pink one, we have bread in the art style of the Pookie art style. And in the top one, we have cell phones. All of these are stylized to reference the easy breezy opening. Overall, I think this is all very good and well stylized. 5 out of 5. Number 58, we have another meme. In this case, it is just Miku, and here we start to cut off the Triple Baka crew. In this case, we have the Miku meme on the outside a skirt, but on the inside I hurt, because Miku dances, and that's the joke. In this case, we have two Miku pictures. The top one, it is a beautiful picture. I love the way the hair turned out. Very round, it flows very well. Just on that alone, this is a 5 out of 5. On the Miku in the bottom, that's an extra little bonus. We have Miku drinking some adult beverages. And this one has a lot less flow. It's a more blocky art style. And I love both of these. This is just a great image. It's so fun. 5 out of 5. 59. I think it's the weakest one out of the Miku meme series I did. This one is a reference to Komi-san Can't Communicate. On a side note, have you all seen that? I love that anime. Great anime. But back to the series. This one is just a meme reference, and I believe it's taken from a panel from Komi-san Can't Communicate. This is just great. I like the way the thigh highs or the leggings turned out. The black... like when I was creating this, I didn't like it that much because it seemed too simple, and the line art was very flat. But looking at it now, it does work very well. The way I did the leggings, it just came out really well. Overall, I think this is not my greatest work in terms of line work and using black and white. I will give this one a 4 out of 5. Number 60. On this day, August 30th, it was Miku's birthday. And on this day, of course, I would make some birthday picture for Miku. We have a leek in her cake because that is her favorite food. I think. I don't know. I don't really know that much. But yeah, this is a very flat kind of art style. We don't have much shading or different colors. It's mostly just a consistent line weight. It looks very good. I love this image. It has great colors. The background, the use of yellow really contrasts with the pink color. I've done this kind of color design before. The eyes are the star shape, which I love using. The kind of star-crossed shape. This is just a very fun picture. Like, consistently in the last 50, you're gonna hear me say that they're very fun and nice. And this is another one, 5 out of 5. 61. This one is themed around the last day of summer. It was supposed to be uploaded on August 31st, but I uploaded it one day later because it took me a long time. In this picture we have Miku and other members. I didn't want to include the other two members of Triple Baka because I've done that already a bunch of times. And in this case we have Rin in the background, Gumi, and the other one, I forget. But yes, Miku is front and center. They're splashing some water. The water effects in the foreground, or the ones that's closest to us, is not very good. I don't like how the water works. It was very hard to understand. But the further back in the background, you see like this very nice background, like very well rendered. The clouds look very nice. The ball is also very well rendered. It has this really nice effect of like shading, and I work really hard on trying to get that effect to work because like it's just very hard to do that. But the shading overall, very nice. The colors are very soft and like soft to the palette. I try to spend a lot of time on trying to change the hair colors of Miku to make it feel nice and special. In this case, this one also very good. I do love this image, 5 out of 5. Alright, number 62 through number 65 are a batch upload, and they're themed around Mikus that make you want to go to church. Now, this one is going to be really good, and I hope you enjoy too, because I loved working on this one. This one was super fun. Alright, enough talking, let's get into it. Alright, number 62. This one has an alt text labeled Kneel. Now, you may be wondering what that means. Well, let's see the picture. It is the legendary golden throne with the God Emperor sitting atop it, our Lord Miku. And what is she doing? She is presenting herself for you to kneel before her. A beautiful glowing aura around her. The armor, there's a little bit of thigh there. There's a little bit of feet there. The hair looks great. The coloring really contrasts with the gold. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. The crown, the halo crown, is a reference to the crown in the Miku Doge meme I did a while back ago. Number 49, I think. The composition is beautiful. The flags on the side of her, just these beautiful colors that contrast with the background. Everything is just magnificent. This is a beautiful picture. The red really breaks up the gold aesthetic. 5 out of 5. Maybe even 10 out of 10 again, just on a league of its own. Number 63. This one is an alt text of Miku Volt. Shows the picture. And it is Miku as a crusader. She is leading the troops. We have multiple Templars in the background. They all have like very different designs. I made sure to make them all look very different. Mostly the helmets is what you're looking at. Here we have Miku with the banner. She's wearing a Crusader outfit. It looks great. She's even showing some thigh just for the ideology right there. A bold outline. The outline looks very good. The design is just superb. Just another great Knight design. I just can't complain about these. These just come out so... This came out beautifully. The blue I use for her hair I think is just magnificent. Mwah. A masterpiece. This... I just can't. I would go on for days with how good these last four... This little batch right here is just gonna be beautiful. The 50 just really boosted it up. The second 50 were just another level of like from the previous version to this. This is just great. 5 out of 5. Maybe even 10 out of 10. Once again, it's just so good. Number 64, we have the alt text. Heretics. Show us the picture. And it's Miku as a sister of battle. We have Miku. Before we have Miku as the God Emperor herself. And in this case, we have Miku as a sister of battle. The alt text could also be Exterminatus, because that's a reference to a meme. I love this image. This is such a good composition. Like the sword, it's a leak again. I changed the colors around. The blue I use for her hair and like the blues she has on her. It's great. There's this really nice red color, like this red royal, like really rich color I use. There's also blood like swirling around in the foreground. We're using once again that little brush for like the fire effects to get that nice little effect of like red splattering everywhere. The gold could be a bit better, but I do love this color so much. The coloring is so beautiful and great. The coloring on her bolter, on her hip, that is genius. It, like, your eyes are just drawn to her face, and like that nice great smile she has on her. Her hair like swirling around. Once again, another 10 out of 10. Number 65, the final part of this batch. This one has the subtext when you take the last leap. So, shows the image, and it's Miku as Doom Guy. Or in Doom armor in this case. Now I remember drawing this one, it was really hard to draw the armor because there's a lot of like little trinkets and parts to it, and it's really hard to draw that in because I don't have much of a good conceptual understanding of how to space out objects, as well as I was going to color this and I don't have a very large amount of time to color it, so rendering all these little parts would be very hard. So in this case we had a very simplified design of the Doom Guy armor. Now this image, although a weaker one of this series, it is still superb. You can see menace and anger in her facial expression. Her hair really stands out against the red background because the theming is just really good. This is another great meme image. We used the fire effect brush, this time for its intended purpose of fire, and it does a really nice effect in the background. This little circlet of like the Doom Guy, really nice. Overall, once again, a great image. 5 out of 5, if not a 10 out of 10 if we could do that. This is a league of its own. This entire series is a 10 out of 10, and I would place this series at the top if I could, just because of how good it is. Number 66, I continue the Miku memes. In this case, it is I can milk you from Markiplier meme. The alt text would be I can Miku, where I spell it in a way where it spells out Miku. Or I can Mako, which is a completely unintended reference to the name of the girl of the other Vocaloid character I have in this, Mako. In a small detail, it has 04 on her ear, which is a reference to the number Mako is. She is number 04 of the Vocaloids. Here we have Miku. There's a little bit of rendering. It's the Minecraft background. I didn't want to render the background too much. It's just a bunch of squares. The Miku in the foreground, it's very nice. It's not too hard. This one overall, not bad. I think it's a very good idea. I like the anatomy on Mako. I'll give this one a 5 out of 5. Number 67 and 68 is a batch upload of an idea I had of having these two images that mirror together to form a single image. But in this case, we have the first half. It is Miku as an angel. We have Miku here with her wings splayed out. Well, not splayed out fully, they're sort of drawn out, but her hair is like flowing down. I really saw this image in my head. Her clothes are a little bit translucent, but they're like covered up where it matters. And the underwear is a reference to a previous drawing of like striped blue and white underwear that I draw her in normally. I like the hair color in this one, a different departure from the more bluish color I normally use. Her eyes are once again that little cross shading color I use for like when I draw her with cross eyes. I really like this image. However, the anatomy is still very wonky, but still the idea is very solid and a very good use of like how picture comes together. 5 out of 5. Number 68, this is Miku as a devil, a mirror to the previous image. This one did not come out as good as the previous one because I feel like it comes about a lot harsher and there's a lot less clothing involved, where like she has knee socks in this case. She also has like you can see a more bikini or bra in this case. Her eyes have been changed to a yellow tint to contrast with the red of her skin, and I think it was some good ideas. I liked this a lot. The hair is a lot more bluish rather than like this kind of greenish blue color. We have like these purple wings. Overall, this idea is very good, but it was a worse execution than the first image. I think you can see a lot more of the arm, and the anatomy is a lot wonkier on that one. In this case, it's still very good, but 4 out of 5. Number 69. Nice. Nice. 5 out of 5. Following after number 62 through 65 batch upload, I wanted to do another batch upload that would rival how good that one was. So number 70 through 73 is another batch upload, this time based around food. Number 70, the first of the Miku Foods batch upload, I have Ramen Miku Magical Girl as the first Miku. This one came out really well. I like this one a lot. The shading is very simple. I use this kind of like comic book concept art style design to create characters. I changed the hair color for this Miku. In this case, her hair is supposed to be a ramen, and the theming is really good. We have like little yakitori things in her hair, like a seaweed little pieces in her hair. She has a little sidekick that's a noodle, instant ramen little noodle guy, based after the drum guy from that video game. She has giant chopsticks, Naruto in her hair. Her eyes are shaped like Naruto, and she's got little earrings for like shrimp earrings, and eggs on her design. She's got a bowl for like a skirt. This is just great designing. I love this one. 5 out of 5. The strongest one, I'd say, of the series. Number 71. This one is Miku as a pudding mage, or pudding mage Miku in this case. We have Miku, her hair color is recolored to the caramel in the pudding, and her eyes have the pudding shape to them. We have her wand being a leek, because of course, and I love this one there. It's a simple design. I really liked how it all turned out in the end. It's nice composition, it's very simple, it's very fun. Once again, another 5 out of 5. This is just very fun. Number 72, Horror Miku, I'm a Cake. This is technically a meme Miku, or Miku meme, where I have the I'm a Cake or It's a Cake meme, where like we cut things up and it's actually a cake. This is also some kind of like horror, in which case it's being cut up. I don't know if I need to censor that. I love this one. Also, we have the number on her arm where it's supposed to be the 01 instead. This time it is number 72. I love the flame effect on this. It came out beautiful. I love the dripping cake style that she has. The strawberry cake. I love strawberry cake. That's not blood spatter, I'm sorry. That's a jam on her chest. Just a very good iconic coloring for her, just classic coloring. Beautiful stuff all around. The candles look gorgeous. The slice of cake, that's a slice of her, if you know what I mean. And just great overall. 5 out of 5. Once again, this one's a 10 out of 10 even. Number 73, Coffee Investigator Miku. In this case, we have Miku and Coffee, and she's a detective kind of stuff. I really like how the brown design comes together with this one. We have Miku's hair color being changed to brown to fit the theming. Her eye color is changed to this kind of hazelnut, kind of brownish color. Overall, a very soft, beautiful image. Continuing with like this kind of art style of using these kind of dots for like shading in some places, dots for like the highlights in her eyes and overall, and the soft little hues of applying the airbrush. This one really closes it off very well. The background color, I think, could have been a bit better, but once again, this series is just very solid overall. A 5 out of 5 all around. Number 74 through number 77 is continuing with the food Mikus. I wanted to do a couple more, and I felt I had a good idea of what I wanted to do. So the next 4 are going to continue with that idea. So, to start us off, number 74, Bubblegum Night Miku. We combine Bubblegum and Nights together, and this one comes out to be a pretty alright image. We change her hair color from blue to this more pinkish color. I feel like this one is not that good. I don't feel very satisfied with this one. The posing is alright, the composition is also alright, but I feel like it could have been done a lot better with a more serious, more defined lines. 2 out of 5. Number 75, BLT Sandwich Miku. I made the joke of sandwich This time I just added BLT. This one I think is the successor to the Ramen Miku Magical Girl, where her hair is changed from the blue to a orange color, referencing curly fries. We're covered in pepper flakes, and her hair we have a bunch of little details all over. We have a bunch of food details, her little designs here and there. Her eyes are shaped like tomatoes, represent the BLT. There's a little olive at the back of her head where her hat would be, and her skirt is the sandwich itself. Overall, this one was very fun. I love it. It's 5 out of 5, if not a 10 out of 10 again. Number 75. This Miku is Cookie Cat Miku. Not my strongest work, especially with this food concept combined with something else. This one I think was a bit far-fetched in this case. The posing, not very strong. The hair, it is smooth, however, I don't like the line work in this one. The actual cookie for her skirt, it looks pretty alright. She has like a calico design for her fur parts of her, but this one, definitely not my strongest one. 2 out of 5. Number 77. Milk Maiden Miku. This one I think came out really well. The line work comes out very nicely. Very bold. Use of blue for the inner lining. Her hair, in this case, is supposed to be milk. Her skin color is changed to that of a creamy color, milk. The tie is one of the most iconic pieces of this that still remains on her. Beyond that, I changed her outfit mostly to a maid, in this case, and she has a very nice pose. She's curtsying. I did a lot of work trying to study the curtsy pose. They came out really well. I love it. The line work, really strong. Overall, this one carries the second Food Miku batch. 5 out of 5. Number 78. Miku Godzilla. When I was making this, I did not know there was a Miku Kaiju design, and so I had to come up with a completely random original design. This one is kind of a combination of Kali Mori's kind of design when she was rapping Godzilla, and also Godzilla when Eminem Godzilla. This is just a combination of those two. But yeah, this one came out really well. I love the glowing effect on her scales, the use of like the tail. A little bit sketchy in some places, but overall, I think this is a really good one. I love the fur shading, the eyes also really good, the posing great, the feet a little bit wonky, but overall 5 out of 5. Really strong. Number 79. This one is just another one of those really crazy ideas I have of like using random concepts. In this case, it's Miku as a VTuber. The VTuber model, in this case, is the Miku model, a new one. I forget what it's called. I'll reference it here. But we have also, as the actual Miku that's piloting the model, we have Doomer Miku, which is a reference to Snail on Twitter. And beyond that, I like the Miku model. This one. Also, I love the little Miku Doomer one as well. These two are just like really good, and they contrast very well from like this very light and happy one to this very dark and dreary one. Overall, just 5 out of 5, if not 10 out of 10, just because there's two of them. Number 80. We have the legendary 6-star pole Miku. This is a Genshin Impact reference. I was trying to mimic the Genshin Impact art style. Not the art style so much as the like way they summon when you make a pole in the game, but the art style, I don't know if I was going to mimic that. But yes, in this case, Miku is an Anemo type, similar to like Barbara from the game, but instead she's an emo, and I like how it all turned out. The effect on the green parts and the glow, it's very nice. I designed it a little bit like Barbara's little music twirls around her. This is very nice. The actual Miku herself pose, I like the shading, nice use of the airbrush. The hair color flows very nicely. It's a bit wonky for like the lines, and like it comes out a bit blocky for some parts, but overall I like it. The head shape, it's a bit off, but overall this image is a 5 out of 5 leaks. It's just very good. Number 81 at the Miku 100, I have Super Crown Miku. In this case, the date is September 19th, which is Bowsette Day. In this case, I have Miku wearing the Bowsette crown. Now yes, that is a male Miku, or Miko, I guess. This is the best I could come up with for a design for Miku. Like, there's basically nothing different, except like a bit more masculine facial features. But overall, I tried really hard on the hair. She seems very like not interested. I like this image, but it's not my strongest work. 4 out of 5. Number 82, we have Sortember Miku. This would be the first of a series. However, there would not be a batch upload. This would be the first Sortember Miku. So I was running out of ideas, and I started to run. I wanted to grab some of the other prompts of the season. In this case, Sortember. So we have Miku in a armor design. And on one side, she has the little vest or sleeve she wears. And on the other side, she has a gauntlet where she generates a water orb because she's also a mage of sorts. This one is pretty good. I like the coloring. It's very solid. I like the water orb. It's a nice effect. The sword could be a lot sharper. But overall, I like this one a lot. A 5 out of 5. Number 83 is September Miku number 2. In this case, it is a lot weaker than previous versions of Miku, especially in armor design. I feel like I tried to go for a more intricate armor design, where the God Emperor Miku, the golden armor design is a lot better and like a lot richer in terms of its golden appearance. This one is just a bit flat, very yellow in that case, as well as the hair design. It's not very good. I was trying to go for a combination of Saber and that character from Sword Art Online. It did not turn out that well. This one is supposed to be more of a paladin design for the Mikus. This one, not that good. 2 out of 5. Number 84, I feel redeems what I did in number 83. This is a spin on Guts, September Miku number 3. Hair color is a lot darker. It's a lot bolder with the shading. I try to go for a specific style of shading. The head, I feel like there's a bit of wonkiness in like the proportions to the head, but overall, I feel like this did a very good job. There's nice shading. It's just a solid black. The hands are very solid and well designed. The shoulder pads could have been redesigned a little bit better to fit better. The knee, the one that's pointing towards us, is not that good. I don't like that pose. Is a 5 out of 5. Overall, great improvement. Number 85, this is September Miku number 4, and I believe the last of the September Mikus. This one is a lot bolder in terms of its shading and coloring. I feel it does a lot better. I try to improve in terms of armor, coloring, and how it looks. The sword as well also looks a lot better, with a lot better shading. The armor looks great. The pauldron also looks great. There's a bit of thighs once again, however I think she should be wearing a bit of underwear. The hair, a bit wonky. I don't like the hair. That's gonna dock it a point, but this one is a 4 out of 5. Not the best, but still not the worst of the Miku 100s. Number 86 through number 89 is a batch upload where the theming is around working out, and it's a slow build-up where it pays off in number 90. Number 86, we have Miku on a treadmill starting her workout journey. Here we have her with her hair in a very traditional color. Hair is hooped around. She has a very tired expression. Her posing expresses how she's like very sluggish and tired. The clothing, very simple, like workout clothes, kind of like a gym clothes you wear in PE for like anime. Very generic. I love this one. 5 out of 5. Very simple. Number 87, we have Miku lifting some weights. We see a little bit more muscle definition. In this case, she looks a little bit less tired, but she still has a little bit of sweat, some sweat marks here and there. Her shoes, I think, are the same. Her hair, same color, trying to keep a consistent look to make sure that it's the same Miku across all of these. Her clothes, a little bit more serious, not this like generic outfit. She's placed firmly. We see some muscle buildup, nice shading and coloring on her skin. A huge improvement from the very beginning where like her skin colors are a lot better, more defined. The knee itself looks very well drawn. 5 out of 5. Number 87, we see a huge growth in terms of muscle for Miku in this image. Hair color is the same, the shoes, once again the same, the socks are the same, I believe. Clothes, I think now she's wearing like some leggings or spats, and she's wearing like this sports bra. This low angle on her head, I feel like I made a few mistakes in terms of the anatomy of her head and like her chest area. Her arms, I think, are right. The purpose of this batch was to study some anatomy and like muscle structure. Her knees are very well drawn. I like the use of shading and these like double tones for the shading on the spats or thigh. This one, very good, but -1 for the anatomy, 4 out of 5. Number 89, this one we see an even bigger growth in terms of muscle. She's working on some pull downs or whatever these are called for the twin tail little things on her head. Like they've been changed to 5 kilogram weights because she's a muscle head now. That's a joke. But also you notice that her skin tone has been changing like a lot darker over the course of these. I feel like there's a bit of anatomy issues for like her forearms. I can't get that right. It might be a little bit difficult from the angle that I'm looking at her, but to make her head turn that way, I did try to make that feel right. Her shoulders, I feel, are a bit too small in this case. The muscle structure on her back, there's a few wonky parts where the muscles are not correct. This was a very tough job trying to get all these muscles correct, but I feel there is a very good job of the pose in this picture, and the anatomy that is demonstrated from the muscles like really comes across if you just look at it at a glance, as well as the coloring and shading has really improved in this one. I gotta say 5 out of 5, even with those small details. Number 90. Now you may have been asking, why is Miku getting so big for? Well, in this case, it's for a JoJo pose. Yeah, so she's doing a cosplay as JoJo. Which one? I think that's the second one. But in this case, she uses her twin tails and wraps it around her neck to be the scarf in this case, which was a very clever idea I had. The pose, I think, is about right. I feel the muscles came out pretty well in this pose. Abdomen feels a bit wonky though, especially where her crotch is. I don't like how the pelvis juts out at one point, but that's a bit with the reference I had. We also get to see stand Miku in this case. I try to mimic a stand art style for the Miku. I try to get this nice little design here for the Miku stand. I don't know what her abilities are, I don't really care. It was just visually very interesting, and I feel like the pose is also very interesting. This one, a great idea, 5 out of 5. Number 91. Miku Pokemon Trainer. I had this idea for a very long time, I think since like number 40, and I just never got to draw it until 91. And so here it is. We have 5 Pokemon accompanying Miku, and a Pokeball, which I believe will have the 6 Pokemon in it. This is Snow Miku. Around her we have a shiny Sylveon, a shiny Gardevoir, a regular Altaria, a Wynaut, and a Farfetch. Why a Farfetch? Well, because it has a leak, and that's why I included the Farfetch. For the rest of those, it's because they're blue. The Wynaut, I included it because it has like little twin tail looking things on its head, and that goes with Miku's design. Miku herself, I feel like her foot could have been placed a bit better, but beyond that, this pose is very good. Hair color came out really well. The coloring on her body comes really well. I redeemed myself for the golden coloring I've done before, and really turned it up a notch. A very rich blue for her chest piece, and it looks very good. This one, a 5 out of 5, 5 Pokemon out of 5, I'd say. Number 92, a very interesting one. Covering another concept of muscles again. With this one includes the other 2 members of Triple Baka, as well as Yoane and Haku. This one is in lieu of number 56, where we have all of the same characters. In this case, Miku is taking the place of Persephone, or Aphrodite, I think, from the anime or manga that came out, that one scene. In this case, we might need to censor that, but also these people are holding her boba. Yes, her boba. A lot of skin is being shown in this picture, and I feel like I've rendered the skin a lot better. This has 2 versions of it, one without the shading and another one with the lighting, focused on Miku being a goddess once again, in lieu of another pictures where we've done a lot with Miku. Here, her hair is covering up her important bits. The anatomy in this picture is very good. I think I did a very good job. There might be too much shading, or like the line for where her chest caves in might be a bit too much. We could remove that line and that would look a lot better. But the muscle anatomy for the buff men that hold Miku's boba looks very good as well. Overall, this one, 5 out of 5, if not 10 out of 10 boba balls. Number 93, this one is a reference to Trick and Treat, the music video, where Rin and Len are singing and they also have Miku in it. This is that outfit design. I feel like I did a very good job on the rose. I like the coloring and shading for the overall look of Miku. I like how the hair flows. You can see I used a mirror effect, or a symmetry line for her body, and I like her eyes, very nice. The hands could be drawn a bit better though. In the background, I like the effect and nice scariness of this image. Overall, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Number 94, God is Top Miku. This is a reference to a music video, Gotish, I think is what it was called. This is just black and white in reference to the music video's art style. The only things of color is the red. The line art is where I try to focus this image, an improvement off of previous drawings where I've done only line art and black and white. However, not my best work, and I feel I will improve upon this in the future. 3 out of 5. Number 95, we have Miku in Wonderland. This is Miku wearing the clothes from Alice in Wonderland. The outfit came out really nice. I like the little stockings she's wearing, that like slice up little black and white coloring works really well. The checkerboard design from the background was really cool to work on. I love how the effect I used for like how she's slipping through the portal, like the little repetitions of her image just keep appearing on the background and the black tiles. Like that was an effect completely unintentional, but I love that effect. Her eyes a bit simple. That was my main complaint. Also her nose and mouth, like maybe a little bit of teeth could have been showing. I like how I changed her little twin tail things at the top into little bunny ear things. Her hand a little bit weak, but I love this image. A 5 out of 5, I gotta say. An ace, if you would. Number 96, Macabre Miku. A Miku with a skeleton design for like kind of Day of the Dead kind of Coco design. I like this hair, how it flows down onto the ground. I like how it's a very skinny design and how it flows out at the bottom. This gold with purple design coloring, very misty, mystique. I use a bit of shading to make her look even more dark and dreary. The roses at the top of her hat, like I should have followed the design of like traditional skulls, like how it has more roses at the top, but I feel like 4 out of 5 though. Number 97, this one is based on Echo, the song with Gumi in it, but I didn't know it was not Miku, so I had to remake the title of it into Wrong Channel, because it's a TV, so that was a good pun. Overall, I think this is a very good job using black and white and line work. This is like superb. My hand drawing skills have improved greatly because of this image, I think. You can see like all of the hand designs are like really impressive. The facial design for like Miku's face is like really good. It's like really creepy, and it's like this nice effect of like scream over it. There's like the feet like come together very well. This image is just superb. A 10 out of 10 just on its own. Like even like the screen blur effect, like the noise effect I put over it, just Wow. 10 out of 10. 5 out of 5. Number 98. I formed the Vocaloid cult. Miku is Cthulhu in this case. She has like tentacle hair. This is like really cool idea in my opinion. These twin tails are these tentacles. I think there's 8 on each. There's 4 on each side, making it 8. So she is an octopus technically. I love the little hair design. It's like kind of like slithery. The eye design on her right side, this really like gouging mouth. I give her a little Cthulhu on her chest for like where her tie connects to her scarf. Everything's pointy or like slithering, and there's this little slime thing going on with like her sleeves where it's like these gouging mouths. Her hand, she's waving at you. A great pose. I love it. This is another one. Another 10 out of 10. It's just, there's so much power creep in like these later ones where the ideas get so much better. The beginning ones can't compare. 10 out of 10. Number 99, the swan song of this one. Well, the next one's going to be the swan song. This one, it is a redraw meme where we take number 001 and redraw it in number 0099. I can't count, but yeah. Okay, so here I want to compare the two images. I alluded to it in the first one. In the first part 1, I alluded that I would be doing this. And so here we have. Biggest detail I will note is that on her shoulder, instead of 01, it says 99. And her pose has been changed a lot. Okay, so we have the clothing. It's also been ruffled up a little bit. It's a lot baggier. That way it looks a lot more authentic. I redrew her thighs and legs. That way they look a lot more natural and not like these like very straight line from her thigh to her stockings. It looks a lot better. The hair, I changed up the hair color. That way it looks a lot brighter and more authentic. The background, I give the star a bit better, more contrast and like a lot brighter. The pose of the hand still could work on the hand. The fingers are still not very well defined. You can see that they're a bit scrunched up, but the thumb itself and like the 2 fingers that are curled look a lot better. Her pose is now a little bit of a reference to the original pose we always see her in for like the PNG and like we always use her in. I like the hair. The hair is a lot better. The little twin tail things on her head, like they're a lot bigger and they have a lot more consistent structure to them, because in the original you can see that on the right hand side one, it's a bit like incongruent with where it should be. But overall, I really like the improvement on this. This is really good. Just a 5 out of 5 for just the overall improvement of how this turned out. This just turned out great. 10 out of 10 even. Number 100. This one is technically 100 plus because it's for this one the plan was to draw 10 Mikus. That is a lot of Mikus for one image. I streamed this, and it was a really long stream. I can't imagine how long it took me to draw this. We have a lot of Mikus here. I will just be dropping images of which ones these Mikus are, because I'm not gonna go through the trouble of doing that, because there's a lot of Mikus. But in the center, there's original Miku. This one came out great. Using the kind of design I used in number 99, that kind of Miku. This is all just flats. I didn't shade them because it took me 11 hours to draw all of these, just like with the line work itself. Like overall, this one came out really well. I feel like on the left-hand side, going towards the right, the quality starts to go down because I feel like I couldn't get there. I was running out of time the further I went along, going from the left to right, where the middle one is probably the one with the most work done on it. But this one, it's just, it's a swan song to the Miku 100, and I worked really hard on this. I loved it. It was really good. I had a lot of fun drawing this during the stream, and I hope to do a lot more like this. This was just so much fun. 10 out of 10. 10 Mikus out of 10. Right, I'm going to rank the top 10. For this one, I'm not going to do a top 5 because this one has a lot of good ones and it's going to be really hard to compare them to. But for the top 10, I'm going to do out of all 100 of these. So let's get started. For number 10, we have number 22. Just like in the last top 5, number 22, Sailor Miku, is just above and beyond, like the start of something great, like doing these crossovers and putting in the time and effort that it needs to have put into it. We get these really nice things. Like, if you put in the time, you get the results. Okay, now for number 9, I'm going to cheat here a little bit, and I'm going to use a batch upload I did and count it as a single piece, because technically it is a piece. Now, for this one, we have number 23 through number 26. Yes, the burger, not sponsored by McDonald's. This one is the first batch upload that started it all. This is the one that gave me all the ideas to like start doing like batch uploads, where it was a bunch of like congregated ideas. In this case, it's burgers. There's so many good ones. There's Hambaka, there's the burger ones, there's the burger memes. Like, 1 out of 4 is not, like, that good, but the other 3 is, like, really good. And I gotta say, this is the one that started it all. This is the one that's gonna get us to number 8. We have number 70 through number 73. We have the batch upload of the food Mikus. Yes, the food Mikus. Just great Mikus. We have ramen Miku. We have the pudding mage Miku. We have the horror cake Miku. Just this one alone deserved to be on the list, but they're just all so good, and I just can't bear without them. This one was just above and beyond such a great design that it spawned its own follow-up, which was 74 through 77, which I would include, but no, just the first batch. Alright, number 7 has to go to, not mayhaps the best one, but definitely a really iconic picture. Number 60, Happy Birthday Miku. This one deserves to be on the list, not because it's the best, but because of what it signifies. It is Miku's birthday. This is who we're doing it all for. We're doing it for Miku, and I love the colors in this one. They're just so vibrant and beautiful. I love this one. It deserves a spot. Number 6 goes to number 55, Triple Threat. It is the Gancho one. I love this one. The colors are so good. It's just such an iconic image. It starts off the triple baka images I would do from here on out, and it would start a huge tidal wave of like how I would design these characters and like how coloring would go. It would redesign the hair colors to Miku. It's just so beautiful of image on its own, and it's like, I love it, and this deserves, it stands up just being on its own, like where you have a bunch of other ones where it's like you have these 4 slots. This one is beautiful just being on its own. Number 5 goes to number 100. Sadly, this one, I love it. I can't push it up higher because there's so many like things I had to cut back on because it took so long to make in one day. It's just, there's too much I had to cut back on, like the shading, coloring, but still, a very good image. It just can't compete with these more completed images that I'm going to rank the top 5. Number 4, number 48, and number 49, the batch upload. This one is just really pushes it out of the park, really takes us out there, really like in the first 50, this was the top of the top. Against the full 100, the second half really like power creeps over this by taking what we learned from this one. These two are just beautiful on their own. We just push it into another level in the next 50, and I just love this one, and it deserves its slot of its own. Number 3, we have number 62 through number 65. This is the one that made me say, we need to do batch uploads for the top 10, because if I don't, then these 4 are just gonna take up 4 of the slots. These 4 are just all winners. They're brilliant. The coloring, it's so vibrant, and the ideas are also so freaking good. We have God Emperor Miku, we have Jerusalem Miku, we have Sister of Battle Miku, we have Doom Miku. The coloring on Sister of Battle Miku would earn her first place on its own. The gold coloring on God Emperor Miku would earn her first place. It would be so hard to rank this one, except that we have number 2. Number 97. This one is the best of the best representation of the improvement of line work. Just comparing this to the first one where I just do black and white, where I do line art for the first time for the Miku 100. This one is a great representation of just how far we've come just in learning hands, how to draw hands. It's just so many good decisions all around in terms of like the quality of how we've improved. Before we get to number 1, I want to make some notable mentions. Number 69. Nice. Number 16. This one is the one that started all of the Night Mikus, September Mikus. That's the one that started this all. I love that one. Number 19. Not as good as any of the past 50 of the good ones, but still really good and holds up. Number 21. This one is very simple, but it holds up to the newer ones because it just came out so well and it was such a simple idea to execute. Number 91. This one, I've had this one in the books for such a long time to make, and in the end it came out really well. There are some things I would have done a lot better, but like as a single image, it can't compete against some of the batch uploads, but it's on its own, it still stands out very well. Number 1 is number 1 and number 99, because I'm concluding this as technically a batch upload, because number 99 is a redraw of number 1, which includes number 1 as one of the pictures. Because this one, it's so important to recognize the growth we've gone through in this journey of 1 to 100. We see the development of art style. Technically, I don't know if we've changed that much. This is the sign of the end, and I think this shows how far we've come. There's something to love about this image, and I just can't express it that much. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a journey, this Miku 100. I hope Inktober in itself was a journey, and I hope to do something like this next year where like I seem to have like an understanding of what I am doing, and hopefully I get to develop a lot more. Just looking at the drawings I did for 2020, and I look at this and it's like, wow, that's really different, isn't it? I hope to really do better next year, if not just in a week from now when I'm drawing or streaming. I hope to do a lot better at art in general. I don't know what it is, but I hope to do better at it. Just hope for doing better. I'll see you all next time. Maybe I'll be an animatic, I don't know. Maybe I'll stream or something. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out all this art on Twitter. And thank you. Bye!